Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a January and February wrap-up because I didn't start my channel until February, so I want to talk about the books I read in January as well. Also, I don't know if my voice sounds like I'm sick, but it's because I've been sick for the past 3 days. But let's get started. The first book that I finished in 2024 was Alphas Like Us, which is the third book in the Like Us series, which is the spin-off of the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. It was a reread because I already read it like 2 years ago, so it was 5 stars. Yeah, can't really say much about what it's about considering the fact that it's the third book in a spin-off series, so like it's like the, I don't even know, 14th, 15th book in the universe. After that, I read Bad Reputation, which is also a spin-off of the Addicted Calloway Sisters series, but you can read this as a standalone if you want. It was kind of a reread, but also technically not. I originally read it like around 2 years ago, and it was 2 separate books, and they were like changing timelines, like something was in the present and something was like in the past, whereas this book is just one book and it's chronological order from when they meet and all the way to the end. But this is kind of friends to lovers, but also strangers to lovers in a way. I don't really know, but they're kind of friends. Like they become friends first, but it's kind of bad boy, good girl. I mean, it's called Bad Reputation because the guy has a bad reputation, and she is like this nerdy girl who wears glasses and overalls and likes comic books and stuff, but 5 stars. Then I read The Favor, which is a marriage of convenience romance, and I wasn't really loving it. It's not the best marriage of convenience book that I've read, so I gave it 3.5 stars because it was a little bit boring. I didn't really like the guy. I didn't really feel the chemistry. It was just very sexual compared to like not that emotional, because he was just like, it's grumpy sunshine, but he's too grumpy for me. Like he's just rude. It's marriage of convenience between the boss and his employee. She's kind of a secretary, but not really, like personal assistant in a way. Like he's a millionaire, billionaire, I don't really know. Really rich and owns the company, and she works for him. He has to marry her because in order to get his trust fund or whatever it is, he has to get married before a certain age, and he's hitting that age in like a year. So he's feeling a little bit stressed. So he strikes a deal with her, which is how they end up getting married. But I just didn't like his character, and I just did not feel like they had a lot of chemistry. Then I listened to an audiobook, which was Then She Was Gone, which I gave 3 stars because I thought it was very weird, a little bit boring, but just like the twist or something, like you already know, like in the first 10 or 15% you know what the outcome is. I mean, then you have to understand, like learn about how it happened, but it was just so weird. I just wasn't really a fan. It's from the mother's point of view, and you see her daughter who went missing a few years back, and then she's trying to figure out, like she doesn't know what happened. The police thinks that she just ran away, but she doesn't believe that. That's kind of what the book is about. You're trying to see like what happened, like did she run away or was there foul play included, you know? Then I listened to another audiobook, which was Behind Closed Doors. It wasn't necessarily weird, but I didn't really love it again. It was a little bit boring again because you already know kind of what is going on the entire time. So I feel like it would have been more exciting if it was like behind closed doors and you as the reader don't know what's happening behind closed doors, because it's like it's this picture perfect couple who everyone thinks that they have no problems, and then you see what's going on behind closed doors, but already like quite early on you see what's happening. So it just wasn't that exciting to like keep listening or reading. It was okay for a thriller. Then I did the tandem read of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. I gave both of them 4 stars. It was kind of a mix which one I wanted to read more than the other. Like sometimes I was like, I just really want to read Tower of Dawn. Sometimes I really wanted to read Empire of Storms. I did like doing the tandem read. I feel like it made it more fun, but there were definitely parts that were boring. I'm definitely more of an ACOTAR girly compared to Throne of Glass, but it was still good nonetheless. Then Nobody Like Us came out, which is in the Like Us series, just like Alpha Like Us. And it's the last book in the Like Us series. It came out at the end of January and I gave it 5 stars. I love it. That couple is one of my favorites in that series, if not my favorite. Well, I think maybe my second favorite. Or maybe my favorite. Actually, I don't know. But I really do love them. Just so exciting. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Those were all the books I read in January, so now we're gonna move on to February. I started off February with reading Kingdom of Ash, which took me a while to read, over a week. But I also just started second semester of uni at that point. I gave that book 3 stars, which is the lowest rating I've given a Throne of Glass book. Well, Assassin's Blade I also gave 3 stars, but other than that I've given 4 to all of them. I just thought it was too long. There are too many POVs. And it's too much of them just like traveling and doing nothing. And the fight scenes weren't that good either. Oh my god, my camera is dying! No! Okay, I gotta hurry. Then I read 7 Sleepless Nights by Chloe Walsh, which is just like short novellas. Like it's a story from each of the POVs in the Boys of Tommen series. So 5 stars, took me like 30 minutes to read, I don't know. Then I reread Long Way Down, which is the 9th book in the Addicted Calloway Sister series, and 5 stars. I'd already read it, but this was the only one in the series that I hadn't reread yet, so I had to do that. Then on audiobook I listened to 5 Total Strangers, which I gave 2 stars, which I talked about in my last video. It was just really boring and long. It wasn't long, but for what the story was, it was long, and there was no need for it. So it's about this girl who's trying to get home to her mom, and then the plane gets stranded or something because there's a storm, a snowstorm, I think. Her and 4 other people from the airport decide to rent a car together, and then they think someone is trying to sabotage it, and you're trying to figure out who. And it was too long. It's just a car ride. For the entire time, it's not that exciting, like what's happening and stuff. It's not like, oh my gosh, who did that? Like, who cares? Honestly, it wasn't anything fancy. The last book that I have read is Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. I gave this book 6 out of 5 stars. I loved this book so much, and I haven't given any of the other books in this series 5 stars. So this being 6 stars is insane. I cried, I laughed, I felt sad, I felt shocked. I felt every single emotion reading this book, and I highlighted so much. I feel like every other page or something is highlighted or annotated in some way. Masterpiece. The writing, spectacular. The characters, amazing. I cannot wait for the next one. Well, the next Daisy Hates. There are no more of Magnolia and BJ. Well, those were all the books that I read in January and February. I hope you enjoyed watching. My camera is flashing at me, so I have to do this quick, and I hope it doesn't die before I say bye. So I'm just gonna say bye. I didn't read that many, but at the same time I did. I feel like I talked very fast, but a lot of them were series. Yeah, I think that was it. I'll see you guys next week for my new video. A lot of the videos in the next few months are gonna be from my parents' house, so I hope you're okay with that. You have to be okay with it.